Hi everyone, and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. So today these are the things I have to play with. I have two stencils by Sheena, and this one is going to make a great silhouette. I have a stamp set by Dina Weekly, and I'm going to be working on an 8x10 canvas. Okay, so even though my canvas is pre-gessoed, at least that's what the labels tell me, I'm going to add white gesso over that because I want a nice smooth surface. Now I'm going to dry this. This is the stencil I'll be using, and notice how it has a nice border around it, so that inspired me to leave a border on my canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take masking tape, and I'm going to tape the outside edges, and the frame will be the width of the actual tape. Okay, I like it when I don't have to measure. It's a bonus. Next I'm going to create a mask with a punch. And I have a 2.5 circle punch here. You can use really any size that you prefer, 2 inch, 1.25 inches. So I have this circle. I'm going to use some temporary adhesive, and I'm going to put some all around it. I don't want that piece to move while I'm adding the rest of the paint, because this is going to become our sun. Okay, now I'm going to apply the rest of my colors. I'm going to start with this bright orange. It's called Vat Orange. And I'm going to use my baby wipe for this because I do want streaks. However, I do not want a deep orange. I want to start slowly and build from there. So by using a baby wipe, I can control how much I'm putting on. And if I want to darken up that color eventually, I can move on to a brush, or I can even go up like this. Just make sure that you go around your mask. And I'm also going to add some at the bottom. Now obviously this is going to be a sunset scene, given the position of the sun. That's why I'm going with bright orange and yellows, and I'm going to move to magenta and purple. I'm going to take my brush and add a little bit more. And you'll see that it gives a different effect. I like it when it creates streaks like these, kind of like uneven patches. I'm going to make sure, however, that I leave a little bit of yellow. Okay, so I'm done with the orange. I'm going to move to quinacridone magenta. Now I want to create a halo around the sun, and for this I'm going to use titanium white. It's in a big bottle, but you can get it in the small as well. I have a sponge. I'm just going to dab a little bit of the white, dab it off my canvas, and I'm going to go around the sun. Don't panic, it's not going to stay like that. Going to apply the white, and then I'm going to take a baby wipe and kind of merge or remove some of the hard edges. I just want a very small halo. Next, I'm going to take this grid stencil and I'm going to add some texture to the background. I'm going to concentrate on the top here, maybe a little bit on the bottom and on this side, but I'm going to leave around the sun. For this, I'm going to use a jet black archival ink. I'm going to do sections at a time. So I'm going to take my big sponge dauber and just, whoops, just add a little bit of that. And I'm not aiming to get something super precise. This is just for added texture. Now, if you wanted to, you could also spray over this. I feel that I get better control when I add stuff this way. See what it does? It just adds a little something. So that's all I'm looking for. So I'm going to continue doing that. Okay. There we go. See how it creates that nice texture? Love that. Okay, now I'm going to remove the sun. Or the mask, I should say. Just be careful so that you don't remove any of the paint. And if you do, then you're gonna have to go over with some more paint. There we go. So we have our nice bright yellow sun. What I might do is go over this sun with just a little bit of orange across it to create some type of variation. Whoops. So the sun is a little too bright for me. So let's see here. See, I like this better. That makes it a little bit more realistic. Not that that's the look I'm going for, but I like this better. All right, so here's our stencil, and yes, I have played with it. I tested it out. So notice that we have a border. Now I'm going to line up the inside of that border with the inside of the border that we've created, or that I've created with the masking tape. I don't want to go inside of that border because otherwise I'll see like an orange line all around. So I want to make sure that I have it just a tad outside of that frame. And when I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to take 2 pieces of washi tape and just tack it down here just to make sure that it's not going to move on me. Now at this point you have a few choices. You can either use the same ink that you use for the grid. You can also use paint and a sponge dauber. You could also spray with a mixture of black paint and airbrush medium, which is what I have done here in this bottle. And my mixture is usually 50-50. So for today, I'm going to use the jet black archival ink since I have it already out. And this is going to give me a nice matte finish against the glossiness of the paint that I use. So I'm just going to go and very delicately apply the ink all over that stencil. I need to be careful not to lift the stencil so that I don't And this is when it's very important to put something underneath your canvas, otherwise your canvas will cave in the middle. Oops. And you kind of don't want that. Okay, now here is where I'm going to be careful. I'm going to flip this around so that you can see this. I don't want to have that hard edge happening there. So what I'm going to do is try to soften up that part here when I add the ink. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is remove that stencil. Look at how fun this is. Okay. So I think this is where I'm going to put it. I've only got like a small portion of it left to do. Oh, I love it! I want to add a sentiment to this. Oh, should we remove the outer edge? No, I'm going to let it sit there for a minute until I'm done with my stamping. So I have this stamp set, Idina Weekly. It's got awesome quotes on there. I've got this pigment ink pad, the new Glacier White pigment pad by Ranger Opaque Ink, permanent waterproof ink pad for stamping. I wonder if it will stand out against that background. Let's see. If I don't like the way it looks, I can just wipe it out because it's pigment ink. It doesn't dry quickly. I'm just wondering at how opaque it will be. Where do I want this now? Here? Right here. Ooh. Should I emboss it? Okay, I'm going to try and emboss this. I wonder if the powder is going to stick all over because my paint is quite sticky. Alright, let's see here. You know what? It might just work. I'm not overly concerned about the white stray powder, honestly, because I think this is just going to add a little bit more fun. Kind of like some sort of a grainy halo around the quote. But I'm going to try and clean it up as much as I can. Okay, let's try and heat set this. Ta-da! Oh, I like it. Okay, you know what? Because I have little dots around there, I'm going to add little dots to the top of the sky, not the bottom. So I'm going to cover that up. And I'm going to take some titanium white paint. I don't want to take gesso because I have glossy paint on this canvas, and if I add gesso, that's only going to make it flat, and I don't want that. I can use my water bottle and just thin down the paint like that. Maybe add a little bit more water. Oops. Whoa. Well, I created a constellation right there. No big deal. I like it. Oh yeah. Hold on. I got some cleaning to do. I don't want the stars on the tree because it doesn't make sense. All right. All right. You ready? Oh. Oh my God. Isn't this exciting, guys? Uh-oh, I dirtied it with my fingers. Okay, I might have to... Yes! Love it! Okay, I'm gonna have to do something about this. I don't think that a baby wipe will... Yeah, no, this is permanent ink. I dirtied it with my dirty fingers. Okay, this is gesso, so I'm just gonna add a tad of gesso over this. Yum, talk about dramatic. That white frame there, it's just... Imagine this on a gray wall or any color of wall except white. Maybe if you have white walls, then you might want to maybe put like a very thin frame around it, or frame this in a real frame. But oh, I love these stencils. I really, really do. I didn't know them. I think this is a brand new company that we just got in the store, but seriously. I was inspired by this photo, by the way, on the back of one of the stencils, this stencil here. Look how she used it to kind of push back the moon in the background. I love this. I guess that's Sheena. Yep, that's the artist. Love that. Love, love, love that. Of course, bright colors are my thing. I love bright colors. This would make me happy on my wall. I mean, seriously, if you have like bright colors like this, how can you stay in a funky mood? And the golden paints really, when you're working on a canvas, maybe not in your art journal all the time, but if you are going to invest in a canvas that's going to sit on your wall, do yourself a favor and buy like the more expensive brand. I want to say they're not all that much more expensive, but the payoff is just so much better. The texture of that paint, the glossiness is just so yum. So I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. It certainly made me happy. I'm still looking at the colors and I can't help but smile, seriously. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will be back next week. Bye.